These days, talk is all about deals, compromise, and negotiations. Idealism, it appears, is not on the agenda. Well, Antonio Gramsci, in the Prison Notebook, said, "The old is dying, and the new is not being born." In this interregnum, there appears a great diversity of morbid symptoms. Well, with me today to talk about what analysts are calling the most serious constitutional and political crisis to ever hit Pakistan are Mr. Mushahid, a member of the Senate and the Secretary General of the Pakistan Muslim League Q Group, and Chaudhry Aitzaz, a member of the National Assembly of Pakistan and a member of the Pakistan People's Party. Now, you know, everybody says this is it and things are terrible and they're not going to get better, and, you know, either you do something now or, you know, we're catapulting out of control. So what do you see as the major issue that confronts Pakistan today?
I think there are a number of issues. First of all, I don't agree with some of these doomsday scenarios. We've been through a rough patch. We're going through a certain process. It will play itself out, hopefully in a peaceful, democratic, and constitutional manner. I think the most important issues are, in my view, the need for rules of the game in this crucial period among the political forces, so we can really have a democratic transition in this country. And secondly, there is a struggle for the soul of Pakistan between the forces of moderation and the forces of extremism.
It sounds like Star Wars, you know. So what do you think? Are we, you know, is it sort of the return of the Jedi or not?
Well, I think some people, I don't know, in one of your earlier programs, I did refer to a coinage, a new coinage of words, joining ignorant and innocent.
Yeah, that was a great word. It wasn't my program, but I loved it.
It is innocent. And somebody who is ignorant and also innocent, I think Mushahid has demonstrated being an innocent, if he believes what he has said, that these are just the simple issues. I mean, in a state, in a country where there is no rule of law, there is no rule of the Constitution, absolutely none, where a Chief Justice can be summoned and sat down by 4 generals and told to resign. And then if he refuses, then he's locked up and his telephones are cut. And we are all smug about it, that everything's fine and all it needs is for some political elements to get together across a table and to come to some kind of an understanding on the rules of the game. What are the rules of the game? The rules of the game have to be very simple, to decide who is going to govern the country, and we have to decide that it's not going to be the military ever, and as from yesterday, not day after tomorrow, but as from yesterday. And anybody who's talking of rules of the game without opposing General Musharraf vigorously in his either consolidation of power or his gradual transition to a lesser role, but a continuum of the authoritarian rule that he has held for the last almost 8 years, is not really talking about, I think, solutions. And once is gung-ho about things going on as they are, and the Secretary General should be gung-ho. He's in a good position. He's a senator. He's also the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee.
Like anybody else, democratically elected.
Okay, that's all great. No, but I want to ask you something. Now, you know, you talked about the rules of the game. He said the rules of the game, you know, what do you do with the military? How do you reduce the role of the military and their arbitrary hold on power?
Let me tell you one thing. The military has not come here for the first time. He and his leader welcomed military rule on October 12th. Just a moment.
Let's go forward.
He has used the October 12th military takeover as a valid justification.
October
12th, 1999. In his arguments, his client validated that, his leader has validated that. So, I mean, let's not be so morally self-righteous on these issues.
But he's not validating it.
And they all welcome the military coup. The military will stop coming the moment that politicians start welcoming the military coup. Every time the military has intervened, politicians have been there welcoming them, including October 12th, 1999, including his leader, his party, his client on October 12th. And in his own arguments, he said that the Supreme Court should respond in the same manner as the military did, which means he justified the military takeover of October 12th, 1999. The military has been in power for 55 years, since General Ayub became defense minister. Yes, their role should be reduced. It's an anomaly. I agree with that. and it's gone on for too long, I think the military also realizes that they have to take a back seat. But then we all have to work it out. It won't be done in a jiffy.
Okay, so now if you're working it out, you're talking about the rules of the game, and you sit down at a table and you decide that you're going to work out the rules of the game, and the first thing he's raised is the military. Now, how are you going to deal with that?
Well, then every institution should try to follow the constitution, but it will not be done overnight. The military is...
That he wants it yesterday, not even overnight.
It didn't happen yesterday. His own leader welcomed the military in 1969. Others welcomed in 77.
Big mistake, but now yesterday.
Let's not repeat old mistakes. Let's make new ones. Exactly. So, first of all, we have to have a gradual transition. It won't happen overnight. Unless there's a revolutionary uprising, there are 100,000 people in the streets, they said, okay, we're out with the military. It won't happen. And the military, they've all been engaging with the military. His leader is covertly negotiating with the military to return to Pakistan.
Okay, now...
So we need to bring the military into power. They've been in power for a long time, either on the front seat or on the back seat.
Okay, but you know, like he says that there is no revolutionary party in Pakistan. So how do you reduce the role of the military, in politics and in civilian institutions?
First of all, let me just say one or two things. One, you see, what I argued before the Supreme Court was for an institutional response. And what I said exactly, that on the 12th of October, 1999, there was an unconstitutional institutional response. But the chief...
You say unconstitutional.
I said that. And it's all on record. I said, and I quoted from General Musharraf's own book, and I said, now we need a constitutional institutional reform, incidentally. I never accept that as a constitutional step, 12th of October, 1999.
But you said it was a precedent for the Supreme Court.
I just said that these are how institutions respond, and this is what Pervez Musharraf takes pride in, except that his was an unconstitutional one. Do you know he called it a counter coup? Do you know that? You were in the government, he calls it a counter coup. You were with Nawaz Sharif. Let me now. You were with Nawaz Sharif. You were his information minister. You should have been the aggrieved party really on that. But first of all,
you were the ones who
second,
now we have to move beyond this. Okay?
Second, it's very interesting.
This is not my daddy's bigger than your daddy.
Pakistan has this amazing talent amongst us that the guy who's in the mud pool himself, who's a supporter, an ally of the army, is accusing another one for saying, you welcomed it on 12th of October 99.
I'm just saying
we did not join the administration. And somebody who's outside the mud pool appears to be very dirty to them. They can't see their own, swimming in that mud pool themselves.
You know how mud pools are, they're always inviting. But